So finally, everyone is getting a chance to go really hands-on with the Necro and Druid, but they're noticing some major glaring issues, and it goes beyond just the Necro being OP. Plus, we got to talk about the world boss, because Houston, we got some major problems with this one that we absolutely need to talk about as well. And also remember, I'm doing a big PS5, Xbox Series X, and Switch giveaway for my subscribers. Check it out in the description below, but let's get straight into this right now. So we have to talk about this one right here. Check it out. It says Diablo 4 players aren't happy about the Necromancer skeletons, and this is something I immediately noticed. So we go into further reading. It says Necro skeleton graphics are just placeholders for now. Correct? These things are awful and don't fit the art direction at all. It's like they didn't have time to finish, so they control copied them and then control pasted them from Diablo 3. Glowing blue, generic skeletons aren't good. You already have good skeletons in the game. Use that. It's an oddity. You know, it's so strange seeing realistic artwork with this Diablo 3 style aesthetic just for the skeletons. It kind of throws you off, and I totally agree, especially when there's so many skeletons roaming around you, like an army of them when you are a Necromancer. So I definitely think that this has to be adjusted. And yeah, there's another post that is one of the most upvoted, talked about discussions out on the Reddit, also saying the same thing. So this is all over the place in the community, and I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that yes, Blizzard looks at this and does some adjustments to the actual look, aesthetics of those skeletons. Also, mentioning aesthetics, some people have a problem with how the Druid actually looks when it comes to both the female and male versions of the Druid. Check it out. It says, why do femme Druids have to look like they need to speak to a manager? This is the most talked about discussion. Let's get into this right here. It says, I'm a woman and I'm pretty upset that my Druid doesn't fit the fantasy I had for her. Think Healith from Critical Role. I went ahead and chose a male character with a white beard. I'm doing a werewolf build with him. So she kind of had to compromise, I guess, because she wanted more visual options for the female Druid. Also, we have another take on it. Check it out right here. It says, I like to play with my bearish character. My Druid is like Robert Baratheon. It's not a body positivity thing. The character is burly. So it sounds like there is a group out there that just doesn't mind it, that actually fits the tone and feel of what they expect from the Druid. Are you the same way? Or are you like this right here? You wish there were more options for all characters, to be honest. And even with the Necro, I do wish there were further options with the Necro as well. But then again, I'm still very, very happy with like the actual armor customization that I can get, and the fact that there is some really cool transmog going on here with the game as well. And oh boy, players are discovering major problems with the world boss. So check this out right here. It goes on to say, low-level players should not be allowed in the raid world boss area. I had 6 people around level 15 who just screwed us in the fight. We lost with 10% left. If we had even 1 or 2 more max levels, we would have had it. Maybe put a minimum of level 23. Otherwise, those spectators take up 1 of your 12 slots. Edit 1. Some people are confused, so I just want to clarify. The area is capped at 12 players regardless of level. I am not mad. I expect to lose the beta weekend. This is just so we can have a consensus when the game goes live. And I am going to say this. I do agree. I've noticed the same problem. I faced off against the world boss today. I had another issue that I'm going to get into in just a moment. But anyway, yeah, I noticed level 11s, level 10s, and I was like, yeah, we're definitely going to be losing this one. There's no way we're going to be able to whittle this boss's health down quickly enough for us to win. So you automatically know that you're going to lose. So why even try? This, in my opinion, needs to be level gated at a certain level with these world bosses. Sound off if you think that is a bad idea or not. But I personally think it just makes sense. Now, there was a post about the world boss that actually kind of triggered a lot of people, and I'll explain in just a moment, so check it out. It says this one right here, side quest, pet the world boss. His health bar is enormous. I've tried to read that before, and I've been laughing the entire time. But anyway, yeah, there were some replies with some very unhappy fans. It goes on to say this right here. What world boss? Where is it? Yeah, about that. I'm logged in. I'm at the area. No notice. No boss. Nothing. And a lot of people were waiting for the world boss. And guess what? I was in the same boat. And I was checking the time and checking all of the posts, going to the official sources, making sure that, I was there and no spawn for the world boss. And then I finally got into the world boss. It was an hour later, and I guess, I don't know if there was a time zone mishap or what happened, or there's a miscommunication here, but finally I got into the world boss battle only to get disconnected. I had so many issues. The first thing was the leveling issues, noticing that players were way underpowered, and then the disconnects were just constant today. They were plaguing the servers, and I'm hoping that the game kind of levels out at launch and through its entire experience, because this is definitely not what I want for Diablo at all. All right, so we got to talk about more issues that you guys may have noticed yourselves. So check it out. It says the camera view is too zoomed in. I know this has been mentioned multiple times, but I feel I need to keep mentioning this until there's some discussion, of it being adjusted or the ability to change it. I don't know if I could play this game like this. It's super close, and I feel that way, especially at times when roaming into like a boss encounter. I need a better peripheral. I don't know if I'm going to be running into one of his major attacks. It's kind of hard to gauge. So in particular boss battles, I need the option to zoom it out a little bit more. But when I'm actually exploring like a dungeon or something, I kind of like the little bit more up close detail. But yeah, options going forward would be nice. Mentioning options, we need this for sure. It says adding to others, map overlay is a must. It's not a negotiable quality of life option. It's imperative to reduce eye strain. I'm looking in the top corner of the screen all the time, and I'm looking back and forth like I'm watching tennis. And I began to realize at times when I'm exploring a dungeon, I am literally not even looking at the beautiful gameplay, the graphics sometimes, because I'm looking at the mini map, trying to figure out the path. Then I'm opening it up. So there needs to be something going forward that does alleviate this a little bit more. I do also appreciate some sort of waypoint system that could be added that is also right there, built within the world. And it could fit the aesthetic, the look of the game, mind you. So you're not looking at the actual mini-map. It'd be nice to set a waypoint to the end of the dungeon or where you want to go. And, there's some sort of indicator on screen beyond just the mini-map as to where to go. I think that'd be pretty cool. Sound off if you think that's a good idea or not in the comments down below. But also, yeah, I think this goes without saying. Necromancer seems a little OP. No, it seems to me that the Necromancer is quite OP in its state for the moment. No kidding. I'm just easily making my way through all the content without a sweat, just letting my nearly immortal skeletons do all the work. True, it's their kit, but compared to the Sorcerer, this plays even more easily, almost brain dead, to be honest. Thoughts? And it's even more of a problem when you're experiencing story elements of the game. So there's certain story beats that I've run into, like a side quest, or you're doing an exorcist. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it. The end result is a sub-boss appears. I killed them within 2 hits. It was underwhelming. I was like, wow, that is truly a bummer. There was no challenge there whatsoever. So in my opinion, for story reasons, for going through the narrative for the first time fresh, this needs to be adjusted big time. Also, if you missed it, I did a recent video. Check it out. It says big features are changing, new updates. There was a recent big Diablo 4 developer interview. They gave so many cool details about seasons. Check it out in the description below, but also on the channel if you missed it. I kind of posted it earlier. It was kind of an experiment to see how many of you were awake. But I know a lot of you probably enjoy sleeping in like me during the weekend. But anyway, let's get into your top comments on that video, shall we? All right, let's scroll down and see what you guys had to say. Yeah, remember, the big Open World Games t-shirt sale is going on right now. Some cool stuff have been added there. Now, Jake Meyer says, I disagree that each class needs to be balanced at all levels. For instance, it used to be that playing a wizard character in RPGs was a torment at lower levels, but the payoff in the higher levels was worth it. And yeah, that sense of accomplishment as well. I get where you are coming from. But I'm speaking about cooperative play, being in a cooperative lobby and having like 1 or 2 sorcerers and your barbarian is falling behind and you constantly feel like, hey, can you leave me any enemies? What's going on? I foresee that potentially being an issue. Hopefully it isn't, because they have some fine-tuning to do for sure with all the classes. Also, we have this one right here from Joe, who says this: I agree the Barbarian needs adjusting. I just hope they don't take the route of nerfing the other classes to make the Barb feel more balanced. That's usually what devs do, and I love the way the Sorcerer and Necro work now. Yeah, you kind of feel like godlike, you know? It is a ton of fun going through these dungeons and absolutely shredding everyone. But again, I think they're going to have to really ask themselves how they're going to do this. So it's going to be interesting. I can see being a developer being super stressful, because I understand that it would be severely disappointing at the launch of the game. You're expecting your Necro to be one way because you've played him during the beta and he feels weaker. That would just suck. All right. Furthermore, we have this one right here from Lone Wolf Trials, who says, I'm having a lot of fun so far, enjoying my time so far. The music, cutscenes, and graphics are amazing so far. The writing and story are good, and the atmosphere really makes it feel like this world is coming to an end. Can't wait to dive more into the beta and what changes they come up with after all the feedback with both paid and free beta tests. Yeah, there's been a lot of feedback, a lot of testing that they have been doing internally, and I am curious to see what they say with their post-beta report, which they are going to be doing. I have you guys covered on that when that does actually happen. So if you are new, smack that subscribe button. Be sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss any Diablo 4 news. I have you guys covered. And also, there might be some other open world gaming news in 2023. You never know. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Diablo 4, and I will see you all next time. Take care.